All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. Devotees, how wonderful to be back with you. We're continuing our seminar on the 6 Goswamis of Vrndavan. Let us first of all chant our invocation or dedication, as Srila Prabhupada has called it. Nana Shastra Vicharanaika Nipano Saddharma Samstapako.
Nana Shastra Vicharanaika Nipano Saddharma Samstapako.
Lokanam Hitakarindo Tribhuvane Manyo Sharanya Karo.
Lokanam Hitakarindo Tribhuvane Manyo Sharanya Karo.
Radha Krishna Padaravinda Bhajana Nandena Mataliko.
Radha Krishna Padaravinda Bhajana Nandena Mataliko.
Vande Rupa Sanatana Raghuyako Shri Jiva Gopalako.
Vande Rupa Sanatana Raghuyugo Shri Jiva Gopalako.
Vande Rupa Sanatana Raghuyako Shri Jiva Gopalako.
Vande Rupa Sanatana Raghuyugo Shri Jiva Gopalako.
Yes, translation. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the 6 Goswamis, namely Sri Sanatan Goswami, Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Sri Raghunath Das Goswami, Sri Jiva Goswami, and Sri Gopal Bhatta Goswami, who are very expert in scrutinizingly studying all the revealed scriptures with the aim of establishing eternal religious principles for the benefit of all human beings. Thus they are honored all over the 3 worlds, and they're worth taking shelter of, because they're absorbed in the mood of the gopis and are engaged in the transcendental, loving service of Radha and Krishna. Excuse me. Shri Sad Goswami Prabhu Ki.
Jai.
So devotees, welcome one and all. We, on the first night, our program, our seminar goes over 6 evenings. We've already done 3. First evening, we talked about Srila Rupa Goswami, who's like the senior, or the leader, at least the leader of the 6 Goswamis. Then on the second and third nights, we talked about Sanatan Goswami, about whom there's a lot of information, relatively speaking. And even like last night, third night, we didn't finish Sanatan Goswami. But what we're going to do we're going to go on this evening to Srila Raghunath Das Goswami. And we'll see how it goes. We may go on also Goswamis to discuss. And by the way, that was very nice. I didn't know you could play the harmonium. Very good. Such an important skill. Great. So Raghunath Das Goswami, what a transcendental personality. So he appeared in an area or village called Krishnapur. His father was Govardhan Majumdar, who was very wealthy. In fact, he was extremely wealthy. In fact, he was like, by today's standards, a multi-billionaire. Yeah. He was just really, and I mean, really a very wealthy person. Just really wealthy. So Raghunath Das was brought up in that sort of environment of great wealth and luxury, etc., like that. Yes, but from his very early days, like childhood, he was associating with devotees, and he was very attracted to Krishna consciousness. And he would associate actually with Srila Haridas Thakur, even as he was just basically a boy, a young boy. Yes. So the parents, you know, it happens sometimes that parents get a little concerned. Even sometimes some devotee parents, they want their children to be Krishna conscious, but they don't want them to be too Krishna conscious. Not excessively Krishna conscious, because then they might abandon family duties and so on. So this was the situation with Raghunath Das's parents. His birth name was Raghunath Das, and later he became Raghunath Das Goswami, later on when he met Lord Chaitanya. So anyway, there he was in that situation, and his parents were concerned that he might become too Krishna conscious and want to leave home and just become a mendicant, follower of Lord Chaitanya. So what they did, take a guess what they did. Anyway, I'll tell you, they got him married. It is a strategy sometimes. And got him married to this just extremely beautiful young lady who was extremely qualified and, you know, just sort of like the perfect young lady, you could say. So, yeah, and then they gave him lots of money and engaged him in helping to manage all their opulence and whatever different business activities they had going on. And they were hoping that way to keep him under their control. What happened was that there's sort of a sequence there, different things kind of building up as time goes on, that Lord Chaitanya took sannyas, and in Katwa, which is on the other side of the Ganges, but not far really from Mayapur, Navadvip area. So Lord Chaitanya, he wanted to just go straight to Vrndavan, just straight from the initiation, sannyas initiation ceremony, just straight to Vrndavan. But Lord Nityananda, who was with him, he felt that, because Lord Chaitanya took sannyas very suddenly indeed. It was just like one day he was a householder in Navadvip. That night he decided to take sannyas, and he left home in the middle of the night actually. And that was it, he was gone. It wasn't, like a sort of planned out, strategized type of move at all. So it took everyone by surprise, and therefore Lord Nityananda felt it would be best if Lord Chaitanya went back to the Navadvip area at least, to give some association to the devotees there who loved him so much, and to his mother, Mother Sachi. So, it's a bit of a long story, we don't need to go into all the details, but Lord Nityananda basically tricked Lord Chaitanya to go back, instead of going on in the other direction, up to Vrndavan. He told him that, we're going to Vrndavan, and there was the Ganges flowing, and Lord Nityananda said, look, see, there's the Yamuna. We're on our way. So anyway, they met Advaita Acharya. He took them to his one place in Shantipur, which is about 25 kilometers or something from Mayapur. And there, Advaita Acharya invited almost all of the Navadvip devotees to come and associate with Lord Chaitanya, who's now a sannyasi, but it was going to be pretty much like the last time many of them would see him. So that happened, and Lord Chaitanya was there at Shantipur, at Advaita Acharya's place for 10 days. And Raghunath Das was there. Raghunath Das was there. Yes. And so actually, Raghunath Das was the first of the 6 Goswamis to meet Lord Chaitanya. Rupa and Sanatan only met him sometime later when Lord Chaitanya was on his way to Vrndavan, or trying to go to Vrndavan, which was after some years. But Raghunath Das was still very young at that point. I mean, not that young, but maybe around 20. And he met Lord Chaitanya, and it was such an experience meeting Lord Chaitanya that he decided, I'm going to just leave everything and everyone and just join Lord Chaitanya in Jagannath Puri, because it was there at the gathering at Advaita Acharya's that Lord Chaitanya decided, okay, now I've taken sannyas, I will base myself at Jagannath Puri. So Raghunath Das decided to leave everything and join Lord Chaitanya. But, his situation was such, we mentioned, he's married and he's managing substantial parts of his father's huge, estate and all different whatever's going on there. So Lord Chaitanya spoke with Raghunath Das and gave him the same instruction which he gave Rupa and Sanatan about not leaving home, just like that. Do you remember what Lord Chaitanya told Rupa and Sanatan? I think we talked about it last night. Or was it the night before? Huh?
Yes. Like a lady who's...
Yeah, a rather sort of extraordinary example. You should be like a married woman who has a boyfriend who she's attached to much more than she's attached to her husband. So what you should do, in order not to be sort of found out as, being unfaithful, you should just act like you are, in the case of Raghunath Das, you are just the best son. And you're just looking after your parents' interests and everything so well that the parents will think, wow, he's the best son in the world. We couldn't have a better son. But all the time, Raghunath Das was thinking about Lord Chaitanya. And in his heart thinking, when can I join Lord Chaitanya? So after a little while, not a very long time, a special arrangement arose. The family priest and family guru was a devotee named Yadunandan Acharya, family priest and guru. Actually, Yadunandan Acharya is a very great devotee, and he is one of Lord Chaitanya's associates who descended with Lord Chaitanya to take part in his pastimes. In this particular situation here, kind of unusual, you know what happened? Actually, before we go there, the next thing, after meeting Lord Chaitanya at Shantipur, the next thing that happened was that Raghunath Das met Lord Nityananda at Panihati. And as we could get into it, this could be a whole session in and of itself. But he met Lord Nityananda there at Panihati and appealed to Lord Nityananda, please be merciful to me so I can get the association of Lord Chaitanya, or not just get the association, but that I can join Lord Chaitanya and stay with him. So Lord Nityananda told him that soon you'll be released from your situation and your desire will be fulfilled. So then what happened? Raghunath Das, having been instructed, the idea of being like a wife, let's not go down that route too far, but, getting into that situation, acting so nicely that his parents would just feel, he's the ideal son. So, but Raghunath Das, he still had this burning desire to join Lord Chaitanya. So what happened was that Yadunandan Acharya, he was overseeing the worship of the family deities. They had their family temple. And even to this day, you know, the affluent families, they often or usually have, you know, a temple like maybe the size of this even. So Yadunandan Acharya was managing the worship. And one day, what happened was that the disciple who was meant to do the evening puja and put the deities to rest, somehow or other, he became indisposed or he was not able to do it. So Raghunath Das volunteered. I will do the evening deity program and put the deities to rest. And he told Yadunandan Acharya, you can go and take rest. Don't worry, I'll take care of everything. So off went Yadunandan Acharya, it's late at night. And the guards who were looking after Raghunath Das, they kind of dispersed. And it was just Raghunath Das on his own. So you know what he did? He ran for it. He just ran. Yeah. And he ran for 12 days and 12 nights until he reached Jagannath Puri. Because it's a long way. Yeah, because they were living up somewhere in the vicinity of Navadvip or somewhere around there. And that's already, you know, 120 kilometers north of Calcutta. From Calcutta to Puri is 500 kilometers. So it's like 600 and something kilometers. You try running that. What do you think? Long distance running? 50 kilometers a day, or 60 kilometers a day. He just ran the whole way, 12 days to reach Jagannath Puri and take shelter of Lord Chaitanya. So he arrived there in Puri, met Lord Chaitanya, and Lord Chaitanya put him under the shelter or supervision, something like that you would say, of Swarup Damodar. So therefore sometimes Raghunath Das Goswami is known as Swarupera Raghu. Swarupera, this suffix era in Bengali means of, like Jiv era Swarup, Hoya Krishnera, Nichadas, the Swarup of the Jiva, Jivera, of the Jiva, is to be the eternal servant, Krishnera, of Krishna. So he was known as Swarupera Raghu, the Raghunath who was under the supervision of Swarup Damodar, who was very, very close associate, extremely close associate of Lord Chaitanya. So, step by step, Raghunath Das, now he's Raghunath Das Goswami, step by step, he accepted more and more austerity in Krishna consciousness. First of all, for the first 5 days, he got Govinda, who was the personal assistant of Lord Chaitanya, would give him Lord Chaitanya's remnants, prasadam, like a meal, for 5 days. Then after those 5 days, from the 6th day on, he went and stood by the gate, the main entrance of the Jagannath temple, because there was at least sort of an area where beggars could go and beg food and whatever they could get. from the people coming to visit the temple. So he was doing like that from the 6th day onwards. And Lord Chaitanya was happy with that. At least he's not taking, because devotees would cook nice things for Lord Chaitanya. And Lord Chaitanya, Raghunath asked Swarup Damodar, can you please ask Lord Chaitanya if he has some instructions for me? So Lord Chaitanya told Swarup Damodar to tell Raghunath Das, don't talk like the people in general. Don't hear what the people in general say. Don't eat very palatable food, and don't dress nicely. Don't expect honor, but offer all respect to others. Always chant the holy name of Lord Krishna, and in your mind render service to Radha and Krishna in Vrndavan. Yes. So, like this. These are the first instructions Lord Chaitanya gave Raghunath Das Goswami through Swarup Damodar Goswami. So when Raghunath Das's parents found out that Raghunath Das, Raghunath Das had apparently just disappeared. They didn't know where he was, but they found out that he's joined Lord Chaitanya down in Puri. Then for 2 years, they would send food and money to Raghunath Das. For 2 years he accepted it, and he would provide prasadam for Lord Chaitanya twice a month for lunch. But after 2 years, Raghunath Das stopped accepting that money and food, and he just sent it back with the people who brought it, just sent it back to his parents. So then he gave up standing by the main entrance where the sort of professional beggars stand, and he went. Anyway, what happened eventually? Yes, Lord Chaitanya said, it's very good, he's done very well, no longer standing at the main gate. Such begging of alms resembles the behavior of a prostitute. If you go to the booth where free food is distributed and just take as much as you like, then you can't peacefully chant Hare Krishna. So then, Lord Chaitanya then gave Raghunath Das a Govardhan Shila and a garland of conch shells. Yes. Lord Chaitanya was very, very pleased with Raghunath Das. So, let's see. So he understood, Raghunath Das understood, receiving these things from Lord Chaitanya, the Govardhan Shila and the garland of conch shells, he could understand, Lord Chaitanya, by offering me this Govardhan Shila, he's offered me a place near Govardhan Hill. And by offering me the garland of conch shells, he's offered me shelter at the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani. So we find in the case of Raghunath Das, he wrote some things he didn't write so much like Rupa or Sanatan, but he did write some things, and generally what he wrote, it's very high level, transcendental writing, a lot of it about pastimes of Radha and Krishna, descriptions of Radharani like this. So, after some time, Lord Chaitanya told him to go, well, anyway, before he goes to Vrndavan, Raghunath Das decided that he had to adopt a very austere program of eating. So what Chaitanya Charitamrita says is, Lord Jagannath's prasadam is sold by shopkeepers. That's still the case. And that which is not sold decomposes after 2 or 3 days. And then all the decomposed prasadam is thrown to the cows. There's cows, if you're familiar with Jagannath Puri, if you're looking straight at the main entrance, around the wall on the right and down a bit, there's a place where there's cows. So all the decomposed food is thrown to the cows down there. And Chaitanya Charitamrita says, because of its rotten odor, even the cows cannot eat it. But at night, Raghunath Das would collect that decomposed rice, take it to where he was staying, wash it, and then eat the inner portion of the rice with salt. So one day Swarup Damodar Goswami, very close associate of Lord Chaitanya, saw that Raghunath Das was doing this. And he went up to Raghunath Das and said, you eat such nectar every day, but you never offer it to us. What is your character? This rotten, rejected prasadam. And then Swarup Damodar told Lord Chaitanya. So the next day Lord Chaitanya came and said, what nice things are you eating? Why don't you give anything to me? And he grabbed some of that forcibly and ate it. And Swarup Damodar was with him. Lord Chaitanya tried to take some more, and Swarup Damodar stopped him and said, it is not suitable, it's not fit for you. So he forcibly took that prasadam away from Lord Chaitanya. And Lord Chaitanya said a very amazing thing. Of course, every day I eat varieties of prasadam because people would cook for him. But I've never tasted such nice prasadam as that which Raghunath is eating. This rejected, decomposed rice. Sure. So anyway, Raghunath Das stayed for 16 years in Jagannath Puri. Then after Lord Chaitanya left this world, Raghunath Das went to Vrndavan. He was intending committing suicide by jumping off Govardhan Hill. But Rupa and Sanatan stopped him, and they kept him like a third brother. Now, Raghunath Das, when he was living in Vrndavan, he was mainly living at Radhakund. And gradually he gave up all food and drink, except for a few drops of buttermilk. So his program, listen to this, devotees, just listen to this. This is his daily schedule or daily program of activities. He would offer 1,000 obeisances to deities. He would chant at least 64 rounds every day. Then he would offer obeisances to 2,000 devotees. And when we say obeisances, we mean like dandavats. You know, Srila Prabhupada, he would observe how devotees would offer obeisances, like when they come into the temple room, or when they're maybe sitting like this here in a class, and then the curtains are closed or the curtains are opened. And the devotees often just sitting, they would just sort of lean forward and touch their heads to the ground. Prabhupada called this jackknife obeisances, just sitting down and up, jackknife obeisances. And he didn't like that. According to Nectar of Devotion, when we bow down, we're meant to put our elbows should touch the ground, and our hands nicely, and our forehead. Yeah, and not just if you're sort of gymnastic type of person. Jackknife. So, okay, 1,000 obeisances to deities, 64 rounds of japa every day, obeisances to 2,000 devotees. Then he would, 3 hours a day, he would give class about Lord Chaitanya. I mean, we could do it today. We started at 6:30. You know, we could just go until 9:30. Haribol. Yeah. But anyway, that's what he would do. How's that for a program? He would bathe 3 times a day in Radhakund. And so he's fully engaged in devotional service for more than 22.5 hours a day. For less than 2 hours he slept. Although on some days that was not possible, and he just wouldn't sleep. Sometimes he wouldn't sleep for 3-4 days. And he wouldn't eat for 3 or 4 days. And the devotees would have to remind him, oh, you know, you haven't eaten for 4 days. You should eat something. Or you haven't slept for 4 days. Please take some rest. Yes, so Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, I am struck with wonder when I hear about the devotional service Raghunath Das Goswami executed. And he is the one, he developed Radhakund and Shyamakund. Lord Chaitanya identified them. They were not being sort of utilized, you could say, or worshipped. When Lord Chaitanya went there, Lord Chaitanya, in fact, the people didn't know where they were, or so many didn't even know that they were there. But he identified, there's Shyamakund, there's Radhakund. 2 kunds, or just like pools, 12 feet by 12 feet, 4 meters by 4 meters or so. So Raghunath Das got one devotee to sponsor building the kunds properly. Not on the scale they are now, if you're familiar with Radhakund and Shyamakund, but at least bigger, like the size of this room here. Something like that, size of this room. he wrote, like I said, he wrote some pretty amazing books. With prayers to Radharani, prayers to Krishna. We could do a whole seminar just on that. You know, the prayers of Raghunath Das Goswami, my Lord. Very amazing. But there's one, the most famous basically is called Vilap Kusumanjali. And there's a very famous prayer and very beautiful prayer there to Radharani as follows. Tavai Vasmi, Najivami Tvayavina, Iti Vigyaya Devi Tvam, Nayamam Charanantikam. So he's addressing Radharani. I am yours. I am yours. I cannot live without you. O Queen, please understand this and bring me to your feet. So there are different pastimes that Raghunath Das Goswami took part in. There at Radhakund and Shyamkund, he lived. Radhakund, Shyamkund, he actually lived by Shyamkund. I mentioned, did I? Last night, yes I did last night, about Manasapavan Ghat. Manasapavan Ghat is on Shyamkund, about 20 meters down from where Radhakund and Shyamkund meet. So, yeah, he was living there, and his Bhajan Kutir is there. Yeah, sort of like a shrine where he used to live. So, Rupa Goswami would sometimes send, you know, like I mentioned last night, those of you who were here, how Rupa Goswami sent Chatu Pushpanjali. It's a poem for Sanatan Goswami to check and correct. You remember that story? That's a good story. He sent, Rupa Goswami sent a drama called Lalita Madhava to Raghunath Das Goswami for him to check and edit. The thing is that this book is describing Lord Krishna leaving Vrndavan and all the bridge buses just going completely mad in separation, and some of them giving up their lives. Actually, this is in the first, there's 10 acts, because it's a drama. There are 10 acts. You could say like 10 chapters. There are 10 acts. The first 2 are about Krishna leaving Vrndavan and how the bridge buses just lose it completely in separation, and particularly Srimati Radharani and the gopis. So, let me just read here what it says. After reading the book, Raghunath cried day and night in agitation and became mad in distress. Sometimes he went far off to stay, leaving the book, and sometimes he fell to the ground, keeping the book to his chest. So as the devotees saw Raghunath Das in these extreme types of transcendental emotional states, they became worried that it was going to be too much for him and he would die. It would just be too much for his body and he would die. So they tried to take the book away from him. But Raghunath Das said, "No, I can't give you the book. I've been ordered by Rupa Goswami, who's my guru. I have to keep it and study it and edit it and like that. So no, I can't give it to you." And they saw, he's on the edge. He's going to pass away quite quickly. So some of the devotees ran over to Vrndavan, to the Radha Damodar temple, where Rupa Goswami was living, and explained the situation to him and told him, "You have to do something. You've got to get that book away from him. Otherwise, he's going to die in the next few days." So Rupa Goswami did a very interesting thing. He very quickly wrote a short drama. It's called Dan Keli Komudi, which is about Radha and Krishna meeting. This Lalita Madhava, at least the beginning there, first couple of chapters, it's about Lord Krishna leaving Vrndavan, leaving Radharani, leaving all the devotees. So it's like extreme drama in separation. Dan Keli Komudi is about pastimes of Radha and Krishna meeting on Govardhan Hill and having all sorts of pastimes, like you could say, fun pastimes together. Like in it, Lord Krishna stops the gopis who are trying to cross Govardhan Hill to go to a yajna down by Govindakund. So Krishna and the cowherd boys, they stop the gopis from crossing the hill and demand a tax. That's why it's called Dan Keli. Dan in this context means tax, and Keli means a pastime, tax collecting pastime. And Komudi actually means a blue lotus, the blue lotus of the tax collecting pastimes of Krishna. So yes, they meet together and they joke and they laugh and make fun of each other. It's like a jolly, jolly pastime, very happy pastime. So Rupa Goswami wrote that. It's a one-act drama. He wrote that quickly and quickly went over there to Radhakund, Shamakund and told Raghunath Das, Lalita Madhava, I need it back. You got to give it back to me. There's some things I need to adjust. But take this and read through this and, you can edit it a bit. The Dan Keli Komudi. And so Raghunath Das agreed. It's the order of the spiritual master. So he handed back Lalita Madhava, took Dan Keli Komudi and started reading it. And, very soon he was in a very happy mood. And there was no question of him dying because of the extreme experience of emotions in separation. So like this happened there. Another thing, if you go there to Raghunath Das Goswami's Bhajan Kutia, there at Manasapavan Ghat, then you'll see inside there's a picture, there's a painting showing Raghunath Das kneeling by Shamakund. And on one just behind him there are two tigers. And sort of up towards the top, there's Krishna. And on one side is Radharani, near Raghunath Das, holding her sari over his head. It is a combination of two pastimes. In one of the pastimes, Sanatana Goswami goes to see how is Raghunath Das doing. And he sees Raghunath Das is just sitting there, it's summer, like 45, 50 degrees. He's just sitting there in the sun chanting, and there are two tigers watching him. And so Sanatana Goswami, Raghunath Das is oblivious to the tigers, and Sanatana Goswami is in great anxiety. They may attack him. But then Krishna appears, and Krishna sort of looks over him and protects him, and then the tigers go away. Raghunath Das at that time, he's following the very austere schedule program that I mentioned, but he had no place to live. He's just lying down on the ground at night for a couple of hours. The rest of the time he's chanting, offering obeisances and so on. So having seen this incident, Sanatana Goswami said that, Raghunath Das, you should at least build a little hut. So there's some protection for you, from the tigers. Yeah, because Krishna was there. You engaged Krishna in your service to protect you. You shouldn't do that. So Raghunath Das said, yes, you're right. I must build a little hut. But you know what happened? He didn't build a hut. He just carried on as usual. Then Sanatana Goswami, some days later, he came back to check on Raghunath Das, see what's going on, what's he doing. No hut. And he saw, there is Raghunath Das again. It was a very hot day, 50 degrees. And there's Raghunath Das just sitting there in the sun, chanting. And then Srila Sanatana Goswami saw Srimati Radharani appeared. And she came and stood behind Raghunath Das and held the end of her sari over Raghunath Das's head to shield him from the sun while she stood in the sun. So these are famous pastimes of Raghunath Das with Sanatana Goswami there at Radhakund Shamakund. So then Sanatana Goswami said, listen, you have to build a hut because you were sitting there and Radharani came and she was protecting you from the sun. So you're engaging Radharani in your service. You can't do that, you have to build a hut. So then Raghunath Das built a hut. Here's another little pastime. Listen to this. Raghunath Das, we mentioned, on the first night, you may recall, Rupa Goswami was chanting, and he would enter into the pastimes of Radha and Krishna. Although externally his body was there, and something funny, I won't go through the pastime, but something funny happened in the pastime. And Rupa Goswami, who's externally not conscious, his consciousness is within, in the pastimes of Radha and Krishna, but his body laughed. His body laughed. And an old devotee was coming by and saw that Rupa Goswami seems to be looking at me and then suddenly laughs. What have I done? Oh my gosh, Rupa Goswami is laughing at me? I must have done something stupid. Anyway, in this case, Raghunath Das, he would chant 64 rounds. And in the course of that, he would enter into the pastimes. So one time he entered into a pastime in which some gopi cooked some sweet rice for Radha and Krishna. And a whole lot of sweet rice. I don't know, like 20 kilos of sweet rice. And Radha and Krishna, they had some sweet rice. It was very nice. And then they left the rest, really a whole lot, for the other gopis and manjaris, the young girls. So there was Raghunath Das in his manjari form as a young girl in Radha and Krishna's pastimes. And all of them, including Raghunath Das in his female form as a young girl, they had so much sweet rice. They just had so much sweet rice. Just on and on and on, drinking and eating sweet rice.